What's going on, guys? It's Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. I'm joined today by Fatima Kline, who's fighting on ACC on September 22nd. Fatima, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. It's very nice to meet you.
Likewise. And tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into MMA.
Well, I started MMA, specifically jiu-jitsu, at the age of 10 for more of self-defense. My mom put me in it. About a couple years after, when I reached about 15, I found out about the UFC, and I started watching the UFC more and more and more, and I actually fell in love with it, and I wanted to do MMA as my career. So once I found that out, I started striking, and then ever since, I've been striking.
Awesome. And now you're fighting on September 22nd. You had an opponent, they pulled out. Now you have a different opponent. Tell us a little bit about what you know of your opponent and what we can expect.
Chrissy Hannaford, I know she's a very good striker. She's extremely aggressive, and she throws a lot of 1-2s. Sometimes the hands go up and down, so I'm looking for more of the openings. It doesn't seem like she knows a lot about the clinch or any of jiu-jitsu, so hoping to bring my ground game in.
And you're talking about ground game. What would you consider your style? Are you a grappler or a striker or a little mix of everything?
I'm a little mix of everything. I would say I'm more of a grappler just because I've been doing it more. But I do consider myself an all-around fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then, why do you get in there? Why do you want to do it? I know you said you fell in love, but what was it? It's one thing to watch a sport from the couch, but another to get in there and actually, especially a sport like mixed martial arts, and participate and become a fighter. Like, what motivates you to get in there?
That's a good question. Really, it's my love for the sport. Ever since I started, I loved everything that came with it. There was a lot of humbleness, a lot of confidence, a lot more than just this physical aspect of it. So the feeling that I could go out and be confident in myself and all of that, it gained my confidence up a lot, and it made me a lot more dedicated to sport, because I felt like I needed to give back to the sport for everything it gave me.
Okay.
So that's a lot of the reason that I want to fight.
That's awesome. Now, you'll be making your MMA debut, correct? This will be your first fight. You said you just turned 18 in July. You're starting your career pretty early. What are your thoughts going in that the person you'll be fighting will probably be a little bit older than you? Anything like that phases you or makes you nervous at all?
I did just turn 18. I turned 18 July 12th. But she is almost, I think she's about 9 or 10 years older than me. Really, it doesn't faze me. I mean, I'm expecting her to probably be stronger than me, but I've went through grappling tournaments where I versed women who were 28, 32, black belt, brown belt. So I'm not really nervous at all. I'm just, I'm excited. I've always wanted to do this. It's finally my chance. I'm willing to jump right in there and get it started.
Awesome. Now, ACC has had a few women that's gone through the ranks and now are fighting in Invicta. What do you think about when you're starting with the ACC? Now you're seeing women like Lindsey Van Zandt and Jillian DeCourcy both fighting in Invicta.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you see that?
Lindsay's my girl, but she's awesome. I'm so excited for her. But watching Lindsay grow into Invicta, especially when she started at ACC, it's such a bright light to me, because it's like I'm looking towards that bright light. I want to get to it, and the tunnel is so it's so long, and it's hard. You have to train. It's a lot of physical work, mental work, but seeing her get to where she's at motivates me, because she's like my role model. I want to get to where Lindsay's at, and together, we're just growing together. She's helping me with my fight. I'm helping her with her fight. We're like a jiu-jitsu MMA duo. It's so exciting being in fighting camp together, you know, motivating each other, you know.
That's awesome. Now, she mentioned when I interviewed her the other night how her parents don't really fully support her with her fighting career. Are your parents supportive of you? Is your family behind you?
Yeah, absolutely. My family is 100% supportive of me. My mom was the number one reason she if I would have never even gotten into the sport because I didn't even know what it was. Like when I first walked into the gym and my mom brought me in there, she was like, "Go ahead, go try it." She just threw me in, and I'm like, "What is this? Why are we like touching people? Why are we grappling? What is this?" But you know, my dad boxed when he was younger, so when he saw me getting into striking, he absolutely loved it. He started coming to the gym with me. He started, you know, almost doing pads with me sometimes. My sisters and my brothers, I have 4 siblings, so they all love it. And my brothers, my almost entire all of my siblings tried it, but I'm the only one who really, you know, grew to love it. They all have their own thing, but, you know, fighting is just something else. When you see somebody fight, it catches your attention so much. Mm-hmm. And when my entire family sees me fight or, like, you know, they watch me train, their eyes widen and they just glow up. It's great.
That's awesome. And it's always good to have support like that. Now, you said you're training with Lindsay. You're in the same camp. What gym do you train at? Do you train with her in the same gym, or?
Yes, we both train at Precision MMA down in Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
But we both visit, you know, our own separate different schools. But once we come together in Precision all the time, almost every night, you know, it's us in our training camp.
Awesome. And who will be cornering you for your fight?
Lindsay will definitely be in my corner. Brian McLaughlin, my head grappling coach, and Carl Nemeth, my striking coach.
Awesome. That's pretty exciting. Some pretty good coaches in your corner. You know, what have you learned the most from since you started training at mixed martial arts? Actually, I mean, more so training for a fight. I'm sure it's kind of changed the way you live a little. What have you learned the most?
Absolutely. When definitely training has, you know, it's a schedule. It schedules out my entire day, and my day is scheduled around it. I've learned a lot. I don't know any specifics, but especially in striking, I've learned a ton in striking. I wasn't really much of a striker, but once I started getting into it hardcore, there was a lot of things that, you know, I realized that I didn't realize before, like the importance of, you know, keeping your chin tucked and bringing your shoulder to your ear when you throw. And until I started sparring and getting in there hard, I realized it. And that in my brain, it just snapped. So now, you know, it all becomes natural.
Awesome. And, you know, you're just turning 18. I'm sure there's tons of other things you would like to be doing as well. How do you balance if you go to school, you know, hanging out with friends, just having free time, as well as training for your fight?
Yeah, almost everybody asks me, why are you doing this so early? Like, don't you want to, like, go out and have fun and live, you know, your teenage years? And it's like my teenage years, they're only for a certain while, and then they pass, and I become an adult, and I have a career, and probably eventually a family and everything, but, you know, I find time, but my focus has always been my career, and that's fighting. So anytime somebody asks me, hey, you want to, like, come out, and it's, like, during my, you know, my training, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't, and I have to do this. This is basically, you know, to me, it's almost like a job. You know, I go in at this time, I leave at this time. And it's, you know, I'd much rather spend my time at the gym doing something that I know is going to better me than, you know, being outside and, sorry to say, but doing the stupid things teenagers are doing these days.
Most definitely, that's a good mindset to have. You know, not every amateur approaches it with a professional mindset. Now, I know that you're a fan of UFC and MMA. You've spoke about it already. Who are some of the fighters that you look up to and that you want to mold yourself after?
I definitely I look a lot at more the women fighters rather than
Mm-hmm.
men, just because that's where I would be if I ever make it there. Hopefully, praying
Makes
that
sense.
I will make it there. But I definitely look up to Rose Namajunas and Chris Cyborg for sure. Just both of their attitudes and both of their styles and everything. I find it a lot like mine, maybe a little bit different because nobody has the same style, but especially their attitude about it. You could definitely see that, they take it super seriously. They play no games. They're 100% committed, 100%, professional and everything. So, not only bring to the sport your physical abilities, but, there's a mental game with it. And, you could see a lot of UFC fighters such as Ronda Rousey. When she lost, she didn't have the mental capability to come back. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to be like them, be like the way they train, the way Chris Cyborg trains is just, it's crazy training, and it's hard, but in the end, it's definitely worth it for sure.
That's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about some long-term, short-term goals for your career. Do you want to fight often in a year? Do you have a timetable to when you want to turn pro?
Absolutely. I definitely, now that, I turned 18 and I am allowed to fight MMA legally in New York, I want to fight as much as possible. If it's, once a month, let's say I don't get hurt during a fight, let it be once a month. If I get hurt and it's once, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I want to fight as much as I can. And I think going pro, I'd probably give myself a window of a year and a half, depending on how I feel going through the amateur divisions and how my record looks. If I feel ready and I'm prepared and I feel good, I'd probably say about it in a year and a half. I'll know for sure. And then pro
Awesome.
and UFC, here I come.
Awesome. Well, I have to say, for someone who, as young as you are and just getting into it, you're definitely handle yourself at a professional level when it comes to doing an interview. So I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you climb into the cage on the 22nd at ACC.
Thank you. Me too.
Any any sponsors or anyone you want to recognize?
I definitely like to give a shout out to definitely my gym, my entire gym. They're all awesome out there, especially the people who take out of their day to train with me
Mm-hmm.
and to just help work on me. It's a completely blessing having the training partners that I have and having coaches I have. My family too, my entire family. They'll probably be watching this later. The whole Factor family, all of them. They all support me. I have family coming down from Miami coming.
Oh wow.
I couldn't be, more appreciative of, everybody who I'm around. So I thank them all. And especially, Tom and Eugene for helping me get this fight, and all you guys who are working in the organization. Thank you so much.
Awesome, and I understand you'll be getting tickets today or tomorrow.
Yes, I actually have tickets in my hand as of right now. They're out, starting to sell them already.
Awesome.
So get your tickets fast.
How can people reach you via social media to follow your career, as well as if they want to get some tickets?
Oh, absolutely. You could definitely follow me. Facebook, just search up Fatima Kline, Kline. You could search me up on Instagram, Fatima_Kline. Twitter, same thing, Fatima_Kline. Everything's basically the same. So just search me up and DM me, text me. I'll give you my number and we could meet up and get it all done.
Awesome. Well, exciting. Looking forward to seeing you get in there and fight in the cages. I will be commentating those fights, so I'm pretty pumped to
Awesome.
see you get in there. Fatima, I appreciate taking the time. Best of luck in your upcoming fight and your MMA debut. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too.